Yes! Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your Travel God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Thursday night video. And it's Thursday night. You know what that means. It's time for Impact Wrestling from TNA, episode number 5, Resident Evil 5. Coming up at 9 o'clock on that great station of AMC. Should be a pretty decent show. It's the go-home show before tomorrow night's No Surrender event, live on TNA Plus, which is going to be a great show from Nashville, Tennessee. Yep! But tonight should be a pretty good show. We got an 8-man tag team main event for that ass. We got the System of Bear Bronson, Eddie Edwards, the man who has the world title shot in his briefcase, Cedric Alexander, and Brian Myers. They will be taking on the TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys. Broken Matt Hardy, yes! Wonderful! And Jeff Hardy, dude! As they team up with the Righteous. That's Vincent and Dutch. Interesting tag team there, so we'll see what happens with that. Tonight, actually, Moose, I think, is part of that. That might be a 10-way, I don't know. But, got a big main event tonight on TNA Impact Wrestling as we get ready for No Surrender tomorrow night from Nashville, Tennessee. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th, so be aware of that. Just watch out for Jason. Might steal your soul. Well, kill you, then steal your soul, or whatever. Stab you in the heart because it's Valentine's Day, you know? He needs a friend. But we have that. Hey, maybe he could hang out with Megan. I don't know how that would work, but we'll figure it out. But anyway. But Impact Wrestling coming your way at 9 o'clock. But thank you all for watching right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And if you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more. And subscribe to my other channels as well. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but leave these stupid comments. Bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. You get sent to the Shadow Realm where Jason, Ozzy, and everybody else will eat your goddamn rotting soul. So don't do it. Go do it somewhere else. I'm not going to do it on my channel. Shit. But leave a comment on the video if you like. And if not, well, you know where you're going to go. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to follow me on social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to please hit that bell. Do whatever the fuck you want that bell. But turn on all notifications and just tap that bell, hit all notifications so you don't miss any videos of mine. Because if you do, well, you're pretty much shit out of luck. SOL, you know what that means. If you don't know what it means, look it up. God damn it. Simple as that. And for our newbies out here, if you're here for the first time, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. This is ginger ale. You think it's something else, but it's ginger ale. Just have a stomach ache. Because I ate too much. But I digress. But sit back, relax, put your feet up, grab yourself a nice, tasty, calm one. I'll get it out of my mouth. That's what she said. But sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. You like it? Great. You know, well, fuck you, man. That's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a great day this Thursday, February the 12th, 2026. Already at the halfway point. Pretty much of the second month of the new year. And it's going by quick. We're going to be hitting March pretty soon. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, Saturday. And then we're going to be turning the clock forward in a couple weeks. So we lose an hour of sleep, but we gain an hour of daylight. So the sun will be going down about 7 o'clock. I mean, dark officially about 7:15, 7:30 soon. So that's good. warmer temperatures coming away. Next week, around my neck of the woods, it's going to be around 50 with some rain. Get this garbage snow out of here that's been here for almost a month. Ugh. Might be getting a little bit of snow-ish. Tomorrow and the Saturday, maybe Saturday and the Sunday, might get an inch, which is garbage. It'll melt away real quick. But finally, we're getting some goddamn rain to get the snow out of here. And make it easier to go down the block, or go down the street, or wherever you gotta go. And that's pretty much it. And February will be a distant memory, and then March will be here. I get ready for baseball and a whole bunch of other shit. And that's that. But I hope you had a great day, and if not, well, too bad for you, motherfuckers. My day was great, even though it was a little bit chilly here. Had to go do some errands, and then that's it. I'm back. I had some plans for tonight, but I had to scrap them, but it is what it is. You know, things happen, you gotta change your plans. It's what it is. But weekend plans are still intact, so good stuff. But anyway, as we hit Valentine's Day weekend and President's Day weekend as well. So, that's that. And tomorrow is, don't forget, Jason Boy's birthday, part 1. We get another one in March. So we're going to see Jason twice. So, be on the lookout. Tomorrow and next month. For that crazy machete-wielding bastard. Let me move on with that. Alright, enough about the spiel, ladies and gentlemen. We got Impact Wrestling coming up, like I said, in about a little over an hour from now. But right now, right here on the Peter fucking Joseph channel, I'm Peter Joseph, but you knew that already. Usually I do these every once in a while, but I only want to talk about some wrestling news, if you will. So I know some people are going to turn this video off. I don't give a fuck. You watched it anyway for 7 minutes, because that's all you can watch, because you're a dumbass bitch, but I digress. Anyway, but I want to talk about some wrestling news of the day, and a couple of big stories of the day. One of them being Brody King, the big man, who, going after the world title from Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker this Saturday night at Grand Slam, Australia. Well, a lot of news with Brody King. I mean, we saw him pretty much last week, not this week, but last week with that Abolish ICE shirt, and the crowd was chanting F ICE and everything. And people were saying that Brody got into a little bit of hot water with Tony Khan and other people, and especially WBD. That's why he wasn't on the show this week, because he didn't want to have the backlash of that, especially in Ontario, California, and everything. So they didn't pull him. They just said, you know what, stay home. We don't want to deal with this fucking bullshit from Democrats saying, ICE, So then the story came out by a good buddy, Uncle Dave, the dick-faced idiot Meltzer. Oh, he's an idiot. You don't take anything that Dave Meltzer says with a grain of salt. Why? This is why. Because he came out, and I think it was earlier today, or yesterday, and said that WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, pulled Brody King from the broadcast last night, and that's why he wasn't on the show last night, and he could have had an epic stare down or something, some type of segment with Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker to at least advance the storyline. It's a Saturday, so we have something. But, Dave's like, oh, WBD got all mad because of the whole F-ICE thing, and then, Tony Khan and WBD didn't want to have anything to do with the F-ICE backlash and shit. But, as always, Uncle Dave, well, you got some egg and maybe more on your face right now, because as per Ringside News, the Bible of all wrestling talk, WBD denies pulling Brody King from AEW Dynamite over anti-ICE chants. So, Dave, you need to get better sources, my friend. So, basically, Warner Brothers Discovery just fired back reports claiming they pulled Brody King from AEW Dynamite, and they're not mincing words. amid mounting speculation that WBD executives forced Tony Khan's hand to avoid political backlash. A spokesperson issued a statement that the network had nothing to do with Brody King's absence from last night's show. And the statement reads, and I quote, Warner Bros. Discovery did not have any involvement in Brody King's upcoming AEW schedule. Any speculation to the contrary is categorically false. Brody is scheduled to appear during the next AEW event, which is this Saturday's Grand Slam Australia event, on TNT and HBO Max. This comes after Dave Meltzer claimed WBD pulled Brody following the F-Ice chance from the February 4th show, last week's show, where Brody faced off with Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker. Meltzer tied the decision to concerns that the chant, sparked by Brody's now famous Abolish ICE shirt, might upset our good president Donald Trump and affect WBD's pending merger with Netflix. Which may or may not happen, you know. So what I'm hearing, Netflix might be in big trouble. Because it's becoming a monopoly, buying all this shit like WWE does. I digress on that. But anyway, the deal is that they didn't want the fans in the arena to be chanting that. If Brody came out, there was that risk when he comes back, it will happen again. I don't know how they're going to handle it. This is, again, not a Tony call. This is from above. That's what Meltzer said. And then, he further claimed political optics were in place, suggesting that WBD wanted to avoid attracting negative attention from Donald Trump during a sensitive corporate period. So Meltzer says, you know what it is? Nobody wants to get on Trump's bad side. If it wasn't for that, nobody would give a shit. Well, nobody would care. It's just a chant, but unfortunately, they, meaning WBD, got a company they're trying to sell and get regulatory approval from a guy who is gonna take that stuff personally. You know, Donald Trump takes a lot of shit personally. That he cancels people like Jimmy Kimmel, which rightfully so for Jimmy Kimmel because he's a dick. Not so much Stephen Colbert, but, you know, he's another weirdo. But I digress. Even then, fans remain skeptical, especially after a fan was allegedly denied entry to the taping in California for wearing the same shirt that Brody wore. Whether it's a miscommunication, backstage politics, or real corporate fear of blowback, the Brody King situation just became impossible to ignore, and the fallout may not be over. Well, obviously, people in Australia might say some shit, and then when Brody comes back to Sacramento, California this coming Wednesday night for the next Dynamite show, whether it be champ or not, whether he's on the show or not, there's going to be fans in the crowd, you know, chanting F-Ice, so it's going to be a major problem. So, even Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter, you know, talked about this as well, saying that, you know, Meltzer's little report was blown out of proportion, like everything else that Dave says. And sometimes you can't even believe Sean Ross Sapp at some points. All these journalists you can't really believe. And even podcasters you can't believe. JD, sorry. You know, but believe the real source, you know. There's not that many credible sources online, because they'll always mess up. So, whether it be Ringside News, whether it be Sean Ross Sapp, or Dave Meltzer, or whoever it may be, they say something, and then next thing you know, they're like, what? They're backtracking. But, in my opinion, I just say, fuck this shit, let him appear on the show, who gives a fuck what the fans chant? If it goes to a full-scale riot, then you got a problem. Then you got a big problem. Then you're going to have to tell Brody, like, I don't care what your political beliefs are, you know, you got to chill. So, we'll see what happens on Saturday night, and then we'll see what happens Wednesday night in Sacktown. That's Sacramento for you dumb people at home. That's that. Alright, so that's one of the big news of the day. This news, my next story, this is a crazy story. Crazy, and it's on Ringside News. Now, there's an indie wrestler named Papa Dingo. No, not Papa Shango. Papa Dingo, maybe it's his cousin or something like that. He's been accused of assault sexual assault at an indie wrestling show, not recently, but 10 years ago. Or 11 years ago, I should say. Now, this story is just weird. It is weird. Pro wrestling world has been filled with stories for years about bad actors. There was a point in time during the hashtag speaking out movement, you know that one, where a ton of people came forward to make those who use their positions in the pro wrestling industry to foster abuse and harassment. Matt Riddle, Joey Ryan, that situation. I didn't even know, I think it was the Me Too movement, whatever it was. But in any case, they want to be held accountable for their actions. The list of people who were called out is quite extensive. Sadly, we have another story about someone who has a similar experience. Oh boy, here we go. So on February 10th, meaning 2 days ago, a Facebook user named Chris Evans published a post where he remembered a traumatic experience at an independent professional wrestling event, an indie show, in Mansfield, Ohio. Figures Ohio. Not for the reason you think I'm talking about, but that's another story for a long time. This is a story that he has apparently kept to himself for 11 years, but he finally came forward. So according to Chris Evans, the incident occurred in 2015 while attending a wrestling show with friends. He alleges that a wrestler he remembers by the name Papa Dingo sexually assaulted him in a bathroom at the venue. Evans claims that the encounter started with a comment initially dismissed as part of a wrestling character before escalating into unwanted physical contact. So he says, and I quote from Ringside News, "I haven't been on this page in over 10 years, well, meaning his Facebook page, in over 10 years because I've gone through a lot of shit. I dig through and found my old password to come on and delete it, but then I decided to tell my story." Okay. So basically he says, I'm going to read some of it. I'm not going to read all of it, obviously. But in 2015, when I was 15, so now he's 20, about to be 26 maybe, 25, 26, going to be. I attended a wrestling show in Mansfield, Ohio with friends when I was sexually assaulted by one of the wrestlers in the bathroom. It was literally the only name I remember from that night. His name was Papa Dingo. I think, if you've seen this picture, I'll show the picture. I'll be nice. So, we've seen this guy before. It might be, Kala Kong or whatever his name is from TNA a long time ago. But here's the picture of the guy. If you can see this. My house is a mess, but that's the guy. That's who he is. That's Papa Dingo, but he goes by other names, which I'll get to in a second. So anyway, let me get back to the story here. His name was Papa Dingo. I was in the bathroom washing my hands when he came in and told me I was a cute little thing. Weird, but I thought he was doing a character. He then reached down and grabbed my penis. Oh, my friend laughed and said that I was only 15, to which we replied, "You're never too young to learn." You want to learn today? Okay. We laughed it off as we walked out of the bathroom because I didn't know how to else react. I'd never gone to another wrestling show since then. I couldn't even watch it on TV anymore. Recently, a friend invited me to a MCW, not that MCW, Mega Championship Wrestling event because we had talked about me loving wrestling growing up. I decided to look them up. At first, I didn't recognize him, but there he was on their social media doing a different character, but the voice was unmistakable. Unmistakable. I finally it's written wrong, sorry. I finally let my story out, and now I will stay off Facebook for another 10 years, probably. Good. Said what happened, but, some wrestlers go to the bathroom, during the show, or before or after the show. Because I've been to indie shows, and I've seen wrestlers in the bathroom not doing that shit. You go in the bathroom, they're either getting ready, they're getting in their gear, they could be getting in their gear, they could, taking a piss, or, whatever they're doing, dropping a deuce, who knows. You see them like, holy shit, what's up, dude? Say hi. They say hi, get out of here. Whether it be in character or not. I went to a show, I think it was a year or so ago, and I saw Mr. Anderson! Anderson! In the bathroom. Whether he was getting ready, I think he was washing his hands, I didn't recognize him at the time, so I didn't say anything. So, but I did my thing. I had to go take a piss. And I came out. He's still there. He's still there washing his hands. I don't know what he was doing. I washed my hands next to him. I still didn't recognize him at the time. Washed my hands. You know. He said hello. I said hello. Then I left. Then I recognized him. But I didn't say. And then I met him. I took a picture with him later in the show and everything. When he was intermission. I took a picture with Mr. Anderson. Blah blah blah. I didn't even bother to even mention that. I was like, oh, I saw you in the bathroom. That's a stupid thing to say, just meeting a guy. You're like, oh, I saw you in the bathroom. I mean, yeah, but, yeah, like I said, many wrestlers go to the bathroom during the show, or during the intermission, or even, after the show. Because, they're wrestling for like 2-3 hours, or, they're at a show. They don't wrestle to the main event. They eat something, they go to the bathroom, they drop a juice, or they take a little pissy piss. The fans are in there, they recognize them, like, hanging out, to be next to each other, not gonna, like, look at each other's dicks or anything. They're just doing their thing, hanging out, maybe joking around. Not that it goes that far, but, because I never been in a bathroom like somebody, like some rock star or some wrestler coming to the bathroom and everybody's talking to the guy. I'm like, oh. But yeah, this guy. I mean, if he's touching you in your penis, that's a little over the line. I understand that, but then again, he could be playing a character. He could have been in character in the bathroom. Who knows? But anyway. Papa Dingo is an independent professional wrestler who has worked under a jungle-themed persona, sometimes billed as the Jungle Assassin from Madagascar. He has appeared in regional promotions such as Insane Wrestling Revolution, IWR, and is known for working chaotic, hardcore-style matches. Guy's insane. I've seen the clips. He is insane. According to CageMatch.net, the 40-year-old Papa Dingo is currently working under the gimmick Super Oprah. He's been here in the New York area, by the way, on their various promotions here in New York. I think he was at an event in December for that company's, I believe, 17th or 18th year anniversary show. Yeah, I think he was in a Royal Rumble type match, lost obviously. But he goes under that name, Super Oprah. He's competed under several alter egos over the years, including Jabari Akeem Mustafa. Okay. The allegation of Chris Evans has not been independently verified. Also, no legal claims are referenced in the post, so he didn't go to the police that we know of. But at the time of writing, there is no public response from Papa Dingo or Mega Championship Wrestling as of right now. So, who knows what this situation is going to go. And if Chris Evans' story actually checks out. Somebody could say something that happened 10 years ago, and now it's coming to light, and then, it was like, oh, I don't even remember things from 10 years ago, so it can't happen. You gotta have proof. Seems like stuff with me, but that's another story for another time. Because things are talked about with me for 13 years ago, there's minimal proof, that doesn't mean shit. Because everything's water under the bridge now with me and that person, so. But still, people bring it up because they want to get their rocks off. Think they're better than me when they're not. Call me pedophile, call me this and that. From other things that happened 4 years ago. From a bad joke that went really bad. But do I care 4 years later? No. I just think people just need to move on with their shit. Call me whatever you want, but where's it gonna get you? It's getting you nowhere. Because more people are coming to my channel. not for the reasons you think of, but more people watch my shit than yours. It is what it is. And that's that. Alright. Let's get to some more quickie news really quick. WWE's discussing major WrestleMania 42 match for OBA. Femi. Now, we heard earlier today that Brock Lesnar will be on the show, I believe, in Atlanta. I think it's this week or next week. I think it's next week. So I think they're going to start that feud with OBA and Brock Lesnar. That's what I'm thinking they're going to start that. So we're going to see a high-profile match with Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. I cannot wait for it. We saw that little interaction with them at the Rumble, twice in the Rumble. And then I think Oba actually knocked... I think Oba eliminated Brock. I could be wrong on that, but Oba had a great performance in that Royal Rumble. 5 eliminations. And then I forgot who eliminated him. I think it was Roman. It might have been Roman or Brock. I forget. But in any case. But yeah. I can't wait for that. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. Take my money. And then we got that. Alright. A little bit more. The Hardy Boys react to AJ Bed Hair Styles possibly returning to TNA after his WWE retirement. So there's a big what if AJ goes back to TNA after he retired from WWE thanks to Walter at the Rumble. Fans have been like, well, what's going to happen with AJ? He's going back to TNA, right? Possibly. He's going to AEW to hang out with the Bucks and Kenny, right? Maybe. He's going back to New Japan. Maybe. It's a what if right now. Right now, the last thing we heard about AJ, that he went to WWE headquarters, and I think he was doing some podcast stuff. I think he did one with Stephanie McMahon. Hi, Steph. So we never know. We never know when we could see the phenomenal one come back and grace us with his presence and his great hair in TNA. It could be tomorrow night at No Surrender. It could be all the way till Slammiversary. I think he's going to be in the TNA Hall of Fame, so we're probably going to see him at Bound for Glory later this year. He's a definite TNA Hall of Fame. He should have been the first one, not Sting. I do not understand the TNA Hall of Fame. Why they put Sting first and not AJ, the man who built TNA, not Sting. Sting wasn't even there in 2002, as far as I know. Just saying. Move on. Alright, remember Mercedes Moné, the CEO? CEO! 8 belts Moné. Well, she's going to be defending her CMLL Women's Championship, I believe, this weekend. I forget against who, and I really don't care. But kind of catching up with the CEO. And she posted an Instagram on her stories section where she explained she's been using her time off to focus on healing, self-care, undergoing stem cells therapy in Cancun, of all places, Cancun, Mexico, all to ensure she returns to the ring in tip-top form. And so Mercedes says, so I've been really trying to enjoy this time off by really healing my body and taking care of myself. Not with Beast Mortis around. Because I want to come back to the ring better than ever. She still has her 8 belts, by the way. Hasn't wrestled since dropping the TBS title to Willow Nightingale at the end of 2025. I think that was at World's End. Emphasized that she's prioritizing both her physical and mental well-being. She says, I've just been really taking this time to feel good, and I really want to feel good. Because when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you look good. That's a commercial. By the way, I made that up. I should sell that too. If you saw a couple of my videos at the House of Sun, what that is, oh my god, my back, my neck feel so amazing. I bet. I never felt my spine just feel so straight. Oh yeah, Beast Mortis figured that one out. He knocked your back into alignment. Ha ha! Shit. Anyway, she also said, now I'm here in Cancun, Mexico for stem cell treatment. It came down to Rev Juice Stem. I guess that's the company. Because a lot of my coworkers come down here and tell me about their results, so I'm super excited for feeling the best version of myself. I'd like to do some of that to get my back out of whack, you know what I mean? Couldn't hurt. Not that I'm in, take some stills out of my ass, inject them into my back, and maybe I'll start feeling better. Who knows? Anyway, despite the break, Mercedes made one thing clear: she's not done collecting wins. We're going to be very busy in March because I still have a lot of championships to defend. Yeah, I defend my titles, bitches. Okay. You haven't defended in a while, but just saying. So pretty much, Mercedes is reloading. She changed her hair color. If you go to her Instagram page, which is basically, well, actually go to Ringside News.com on Instagram. You can see her picture. Or just go to her, if you have her on Instagram, go to her page. She has a different hairstyle. Maybe another wig or something like that. No, because she has a weave. If you got a weave! That great hit song. Anyway, alright, so we got that. So, still some news on the CEO. And we move on with that. Alright, got some independent stars trying out for the WWE. One of them I know very well, Nikki Blackheart. I hope they sign her. She has been in NWA, a couple other indies promotions around my neck of the woods. So, we're hoping and praying that she at least, she got the tryout, which is great. I hope, WWE sees something in her and signs her. She's been in the Florida wrestling scene, CCW, MPX, which is a promotion run by Athena. She holds the MPX women's title, where she used to. Nikki Blackheart's not the champion anymore. I could be wrong. Is Abaddon? Well, that's just a different title that Abaddon has. But I digress. So, yeah. So, Nikki Blackheart possibly coming to your TV screens if she does sign with the WWE. But she's getting a tryout. You'd love to see that. So, I wish they would sign some people I know here in New York. They're very talented wrestlers. Some of them you've seen as security guards. I think you know some of them. We move on. Another one getting a tryout. Valentina Rossi. Independent standout. Made the announcement today. Wrestles mainly in where she wrestle? In Mexico. They debuted in 2019, been grinding across the indie scene, with stops in AEW, we've seen her a little bit, not too much. NWA, JCW, that's Jersey, I think it's not Juggalo. Jersey Championship Wrestling, Ring of Honor. Fans might remember her dark appearances, I've seen some of them, where she shared the ring with Weehoo, Jade Cargill, Penelope Ford, and Holly Cameron. And most notably, she became a two-time World Women's Tag Team Champion. That was recently because now she's not champion anymore because Allison Kay and Marty Bell, the Hex, are now the new NWA Women's Tag Team Champions once again. Somebody forgot to read that? Not me. I know. Not that I follow the NWA, but, I have Allison Kay and Marty Bell on my Instagram page. So when I see their, stories saying they're holding belts, the NWA belts, saying, oh, we're back. So I got that. So hopefully Valentina Rossi gets a, tryout. Let's see, maybe somebody like Tiffany Nieves get it. Oh, yeah, the TV MMA chick. Not TV MMA, TV MA chick. You know what I'm talking about. If you watch NWA, you know. But some of you don't because you're dumb fucks. What channel is it on? Look it up, dumb fuck. I'm not telling you. I think it's on YouTube. They still have some clips on YouTube. Let me move on. Dakota Kai, now known as Charlie, if you follow her Twitch channel, talks about possibly joining AEW. Well, we've been saying that since her release, really. So, we got all that. Alright, Logan Paul, our good buddy, Logan Paul, claims Bad Bunny. A match with him would be the biggest in wrestling history. Yeah, I think it would, because, two Puerto Ricans, the best-selling guy in Puerto Rico and the not-so-next new guy in Puerto Rico, they have a match, it'll be freaking epic. I'd do it at SummerSlam. Because Benito's not doing anything till SummerSlam, pretty much. Because he has this world tour going on. Then he's going to take a little break. People saying he's going to be at WrestleMania. Doing what? Maybe in the crowd. Maybe doing a spot. Something. I wouldn't put it past WWE to ask him to be there. But, like I said, after April, he's going back on tour. I think until July. And then maybe in between doing a record after that. Who knows? But if he does come back to wrestling, which could be sooner or later, I'd have him and Logan Paul go at it at SummerSlam. We already know Brock Lesnar is gonna retire at SummerSlam against Walter. Unless that gets pushed back or forward. Who knows? So that's SummerSlam, Night 1 and Night 2 card. The way it might go with Walter and Brock, I put that on Night 2. I'd put Bad Bunny and Logan Paul right near the end of Night 1. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, at where the Vikings play. I assume that's going to be where it is. That's a big stadium, so yeah, I assume that's going to be there. Because they can't put it anywhere else. Not where the Twins play. No, sir. Not Target Field. Whatever the name of it is. We have that. There's some residual things, and then blah, blah, blah. Javon Evans' Super Gilly Cutter went viral. So I get credit for that, by the way. We have that. WWE's plans for Jade Cargill up in the air. What else is new, Hunter? You can't get a fucking WrestleMania card knocked down. Still don't know anything besides Roman and Punk. They're teasing Stephanie and Liv for the Raw Women's Championship. And now Jade, well, she's got Jordan Grace this tomorrow night. Probably going to win that. And then whoever wins the Elimination Chamber will probably go after Jade. We got Mommy Rhea Ripley in. Tiffany Stratton's already in. We'll see more tomorrow night. I have a feeling Mommy Rhea Ripley might win the Chamber and face Jade. That will be an epic match on probably Night 1 or Night 2 for the SmackDown title. Then they're like, oh, what happens with her and my girl Io? Whether they lose the tag titles to Nia Jax and Life's Legend. Good chick done. This Friday night or whenever that match happens. I think it's this Friday night. Tomorrow night it's happening. So they're gonna have to somehow do something. Either I don't want them to break up, but break up Rio. Let Mommy say, you know what? I want to take a break for a little while after they lose. Like, I'm sorry, and then Io's like, I'm sorry too. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna go my way, and you go your way. I'll go get my belt back, and Mommy's like, I'll get the SmackDown title. Then maybe down the line we see Mommy and Io round 5 or 6 or whatever number it's up to, and finally Mommy beats Io, which should have happened at Evolution, but thanks to Naomi, that didn't happen. And Naomi's gonna come back pretty soon, because I don't know when she's gonna pop, but I could be wrong. She's about maybe a month or 2 or close to popping that baby out. Baby Oos. So see what happens with that. Let me move on. MJF, our good funny Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker reveals how he got together with Alicia Atout. I think we all know that story. Some of you don't, but if you don't know, we all know Alicia Atout used to do a lot of YouTube interviews and stuff like that. Now she's part of AEW. I wonder how. From Max, most likely. And now she used to do interviews with Max when Max was on the indie circuit. and they always, Max would always joke around with her, and somehow, some way, they got together, and, got married, and I guess Alicia likes his tiny pecker. Or as Mark Briscoe would say, tiny pickle, I mean, schmeg, So, you can look that up. He blasts hypocritical WWE fans who turn on him after AEW resigning. So he's titled "A Fake Love," calls fans out for flipping on him and then liking him again. They liked him, and then when he signed with AEW, like, oh, fuck you, Max! Hypocrites. Marks, that's what they are. He also claims WWE is still interested in signing him. So, like Vince says, it's all about the money. So, who knows? Maybe we'll see Max in WWE whenever his contract ends. And that's that. Another OBA story. He revealed why he vacated the NXT title before, got called to the main roster. So he says, I've known for a while now, even before I relinquished the title, I knew that was part of the reason that move was made. I was already guaranteed a main roster spot and already signed my contract, just hadn't been assigned a brand yet. He still hasn't been signed a brand yet, but most people are thinking he's going to Raw. So that's the big man, Oba! Who? The Buddha! Who? The Destroyer! Who? The Brigand of War! For Wakanda! Okay. Who? Okay. Enough the hoots. It's not an owl singing contest. Stop it. Well, yeah. So, Oba knew that he was going to the main roster. It was just a matter of time when they were going to pull the trigger and let him go up to the main roster and when he was going to relinquish the title. That's that. Alright, I mentioned Oba versus Brock at Mania. Alright, so since we're a half hour away from TNA Impact Wrestling, the main event, like I said, it's different from what I said. Sorry. So we got the System, Bear Bronson, Cedric Alexander, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers taking on the Hardy Boys, not the Righteous. Sorry, it's the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, teaming with Moose and the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana. It should be a pretty damn hard hitting match. Is it live tonight? I don't think we're live. It might not be live tonight. I'm not even sure. Because it's the night before. It's the night before No Surrender, and then Saturday they're doing more tapings from Nashville. So I think next week is taped. So tonight might be live from Nashville. So big weekend for TNA. All right, so we got that match. Moose speaks about being excommunicated from the System. So we're going to hear from him before that 8-man tag team match. We got an Albuquerque... Oh, so we're still in Albuquerque, so it is taped tonight. So we got an Albuquerque street fight between Mara Sade, that's Jakara Miss Jackson if you're nasty, taking on a man who just can't leave her the fuck alone, and that's Dolph Ziggler's little brother, Ryan Nemeth. My big brother parked Issa's car perfectly. Yeah, but you feel Marcos. Shut up, Ryan. See, if you actually went to Marcos, try their pizza, you might have a different stand on that. Okay? But shut up. Just stay cool, and eat your Marcos pizza. Shut up! I'll have to call Rosemary again to steal your soul. She didn't... If you've seen Ryan's Instagram where he did an interview with Rosemary, I think it was a Truth or Dare type thing, or I forget what it was, or some type of interview he did with Rosemary. Rosemary said that she was going to protect him or something like that. And then they kind of went in the back. You would think they were going to bang or some shit. No. Rosemary took him to the Shadow Realm in a different way, so yeah. Ryan didn't score with Rosemary. There'd be no way in hell. If I'm around, I'm like, hey, Ryan! Pfft. Smack him around. What are you doing, my girl? My demon bride. I fuck you up, Ryan. I don't care if your brother did park Issa's car perfectly. I don't give a fuck. You stay away from my demon bride. Go over there and be with your big brother. Fucking idiot. Don't send him that. I'm just kidding. Alright, so we got that. Speaking of my big brother, Nick Nemeth will go juke it out with the man who goes all night long. All night. No, Big Swan. Should be a good match. And then EY, Grandpa Eric Young, will address the TNA audience. Also, we'll find out if that fake YouTuber BDE will take him up on his offer last week. What that means. And we still don't know what the cleansing is. We've been following that for like, what, 2-3 months now? And then finally, the man, Elijah. Who wants to walk with Elijah? He will take the mic. So, we're going to hear what he has to say. You know, him and Mustafa Ali in Order 4, they still going at it. And we'll see what happens with that as we go to No Surrender on the 13th. Alright, so AMC, 9 p.m., episode number 5 from the Tingley Coliseum in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we are still in Albuquerque, and then hopefully we'll leave and then take a right at Albuquerque and go somewhere else. But not a bad show, per se. But we got that. Alright, some other quickie news real quick. Logan Paul fires back after Tom Brady calls WWE cute. In a brutal diss. So yeah, shut up, Brady. You might get a ghillie cutter for your troubles. Stacy Keibler, remember her? She got legs. She knows how to use them. Okay. Stacy Keibler honors James Vanderbeek, who sadly passed away yesterday, with an emotional tribute after his passing. Aww. Nice. I'm just taking this from the front page news of Ringside News, on the front page. Chelsea Green, Madam President. Her ankle injury is far more serious than expected. Ooh, boy. I mean, have you seen the pictures of it? It is hideous. I mean, black and blue, broken in, like, I don't know how many places. Kind of feels like the Adam Cole ankle injury. From, he kept him out for like a year and a half. Then he came back, now he's got a concussion, he's out for another year. Still haven't seen the guy. I mean, he's on Twitch, but still. There's a story about Joe Hendry, you don't care. Why he passed on signing with WWE in 2016. Private Party came back last night on Dynamite in that 3-way match with the Bucks, them, and, I forgot the other team. I think it was Jet Speed. Oh, yeah, Jet Speed, I think it was. And the Bucks won, so they get a title shot against FTR. But Private Party kind of still in limbo right now with AEW, their contract. You know, Tony Khan just doesn't have anything for them right now. They're perfect for NXT. So Shawn Michaels wants to book them. But Tony Khan just doesn't want to let them go yet. Kind of have the Britt Baker syndrome. She wants to leave, and Tony Khan's like, nope. So Sean Ross Sapp talked about it. He says, if I were to report that somebody's contract was coming up soon, I would think it would be within 6 months. Now maybe they were extended or injury time was added. But everybody seemed to think that their deals were going to be up by now. So who knows? There was interest from WWE. I think they would be great to go to NXT. Yeah, that'd be great for them. You know, because NXT is what, you know, can really market them as like a second version of the Street Profits. Mark was backstage at an AEW event like a couple of months ago, but haven't heard much since. So like I said, Private Party pretty much like Britt Baker in limbo. We're gonna see them, or they're gonna leave. They're gonna let their contracts ride out. I don't know. We got that. Judge denies Ted DiBiase Jr.'s mistrial request amid $77 million for Mississippi welfare fraud case. Well, he's probably going back to jail. Who cares? WWE granted extension to respond to ESPN's streaming lawsuit, because there's a class action lawsuit accusing WWE of misleading fans over the ESPN app. I told you don't buy that shit. Alright, so Brock's going to be on the February 23rd Raw in Atlanta. There's a story about Powerhouse Hobbs visiting WWE headquarters after the Royal Rumble. Probably just get particulars, maybe, I don't know. The new AEW Women's Champion, Thekla, who won it last night in a strap match with Chris Cakelander. She revealed why she chose AEW over WWE. I pretty much think schedule. And, you know, now her husband, or her boyfriend, Clark Connors, is there now. So, get that. The Miz defends JBL against WWE bullying accusations. Because, you know how fucking JBL used to bully everybody, Mauro Ranallo included. Not once, but twice. No wonder we haven't seen Mauro. Mauro doesn't want to come back. He probably bullied a whole bunch of other wrestlers who left. They don't want to deal with him. He's an egomaniac. But he's still a wrestling god! So cold. That's pretty much it. Alright, that is it for the front page news on ringsidenews.com. So let me know your thoughts about what I talked about. The indie incident with Papa Dingo grabbing a 15-year-old kid's penis in 2015. And the big story is Brody King and the whole ICE thing. So leave me your thoughts and opinions about all the news stories of the day. Brock versus Oba at Mania. AJ possibly going back to TNA. Mercedes Moné taking a little bit of time off to heal up and all that other shit. And so, some other stories in the world of professional wrestling. CM Punk and AJ are on the Elimination Chamber poster. Figure that, because they're in Chicago. And Dakota Kai, possibly going to AEW. So that's pretty much it. So, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, getting ready for Impact, 20 minutes away. Should be a great show tonight on AMC, episode number 5. Let's see what the ratings say. Speaking of the ratings, let's get the ratings. Speaking of ratings, WWE Raw last week did 3.1 million on Netflix. That's pretty damn good. So we got that. Hey, you can see my face! The website I'm on had a black screen, so illumination. So we get that. All right, so you see what the ratings for NXT was for this week. Let's see here. All right, the February 10th edition of NXT did an average of 637,000 views, which is a 2% increase from last week. The demographic was approximately 163,000 viewers, 0.16 rating. So demographics saw a 50% increase, so it went up a half. So that's not bad. So 637 last week. Excuse me. Collision on February the 7th. Okay, so last week's NXT went up 8,000 views from 629 to 637. Collision on TNT this past Saturday did 388,000, so it went a little bit down from the week before that. Let me just get the actual number, if you will. Gotta wait for the shimmer car. I gotta wait for the website to load. But I think Collision's rating went down because I think the week before that they did like almost 500,000. I could be wrong on that. I usually am. But yeah. Okay. Now let me read the story from the website. Shit. So Collision 388.7 in the demo. Last week they did 492, so they went down a lot. Well, not down a lot. They went down 104,000 views from last week. So that's that. So it went down 21% from last week. But the demo was 0.7, so it stayed the same. So there you go. There you go with that. Any other we don't have Dynamite's ratings as of yet. I don't think we have it yet. But like I said, NXT 630. What was it? 630. I think it was 637. I could be wrong on that. Let me look at it again. So yeah, 637 for NXT this week. And see if Dynamite's rating came out. No, not yet. Last week did 654,000. So AEW won the ratings war last week. For the first time this year. I could be wrong on that, but so we got that. So we'll see what happens with the AEW Dynamite rating for this week. Probably come out later tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, and then we'll find out SmackDown's and TNA's ratings and Collision probably by this time next week. So we'll see what happens with all that. All right. Let me just take one more look at the front page news on RingsideNews.com. Pretty much the same. We all know All In's going to be back in Wembley Stadium, August the 30th, 2026. So that's probably going to be, I would say, a 2 or 3 p.m. show on Sunday, August the 30th. So, put that on your calendar. AEW All In London back as well. All In back in London, August the 30th. So, should be a big show. I would assume that Ocean Spray is going to win the Owen Hart Cup and face whoever the champion is, whether it be Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, Kenny, Hangman, Swerve, who knows. But I think that Ocean Spray is going to win the title in his hometown of Wembley, London, England. He's going to win it in Wembley, basically. And hopefully hold on to it for a while. Don't know how many months, but let's see what happens between now and end of August. So we got 6 months to go before All In. So it's going to come by real quick. And that's that. Anything else real quick? Got that Nikki Blackheart situation. Okay, we got that. No, nothing really. Okay, that's pretty much it. I want to get out of here. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this almost 1 hour long news review. Because I wanted to get every news story in for the front page on Ringside News. So I will put the link to Ringside News down below in the gobbledygook, so you can go read the stories of the day and all that other shit. And that's pretty much it. So I'll be back later with your official AEW Dynamite review over on my Peter Joseph channel, or still on this channel, I should say. What am I talking about? So another video coming your way a little bit later after Impact goes off the air. We'll talk about Dynamite and then go to bed, and then tomorrow afternoon we will talk about TNA and Ring of Honor in 2 separate videos tomorrow on the Kill Demons channel. And then we'll get ready for SmackDown on your Friday the 13th. So, like I said, watch out for Jason Voorhees. And all that other stuff. Don't step on a crack and break your mama's back. If you're superstitious like that. But it is what it is. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you guys later for your Dynamite review. But until next time, if you're not down with all that, well, I got 3 words for you motherfuckers. fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. That's it. But until next time, peace.